Good morning, Gogglefrogs. I hope you are well today. I'm Angela and I'm hosting this morning's session of Gogglefrogs. Lovely to spend the next hour with you. And if this is your first time with us, all you need is a little bit of knitting, crochet, cross stitch, whatever you fancy, a cuppa, and I've forgotten mine, and sit back and relax and give yourself the next hour to enjoy doing your lovely crafting. So I've just had a little bit of a dip into the Facebook group, and if you're not part of that, it's Gogglefrogs Knit and Natter, and I've already seen a new technique in there, so I am going to give it a go. So hey ho, I will explain everything as we go through the Facebook group. So lovely to see you. And what this is this 144? Is this 145? I think it's episode 145. Can you believe it? So 7 months ago, we went into lockdown in the UK, which meant our knit and natter groups had to close for the time being. And that's where Gogglefrogs was born. So we've been going for 145 sessions now. I can't believe it. Is it 144? Thank you, Marion. Marion is being Brigitte. It's 144 today and 145 tomorrow. So tomorrow's episode is at 8 p.m. and that means that you can bring gin or tonic or a cup of tea or water, whatever you want. But it's 8 p.m. tomorrow night. So I've got my knitting. I haven't done any since the show yesterday, but as you can see, it's now turning to orange, and I just love this. If you're not if you haven't seen this before, it's Stylecraft Batik Swirl, and this is Meadow, and I think that Meadow is the most rainbow of them because they're beautiful sherbet, or if you're from up north, Kaylie colours, because it was called Kaylie certainly in Yorkshire. So yeah, I love this because of that beautiful green, and everything is just like opal fruits. Do you remember those opal fruits? Or what were the other ones with the little bit of were they spangles that we used to have as well when I was little, that were nice and bright colours? And whenever I see these colours, I really think of fruits and brightness and rainbow. And this is something that I'm just doing. It's such a simple knit, but don't we love doing those simple things that we can just do as we chat? So let's say hello to a few people. 1 second, and let's see who's joining us. It's a small but perfectly formed group today. So just want to say a huge hello to Trisha. Lovely of you to join us. Safi, good morning there. And if you don't know Safi, she's the lady who has beautiful pom-poms hanging from trees in her garden to make people smile as they walk past. So that's how I will always remember Safi, the fact that she created smiles for everyone walking past her garden. So thank you. Marion, hello Marion, and hello Marion. Lovely to see both of you. And Judy, hello Judy, lovely to see you too. And hello Janice. And hello, Jackie. Jackie, you're probably working. And I haven't forgotten, I need to send your needles back. So I am going to be going out today. I need to grab the post office and send them back to you. So thank you very much. And hello, good morning to Georgie. And for the first time ever, our wonderful friend, Brigitte, isn't with us. This is the only one out of 144 episodes, plus 1 or 2 pilots that she didn't actually, that she hasn't arrived at. So we just want to wish Brigitte and her husband Rod all the best today, because today Rod is going for some pre-tests, because he's going to hospital on Friday. I believe it's Friday this week. So all the best to both of you, and thank you ever so much for your support and your continued support. And you know that both myself, Robert, and every single Gogglefrogger wish the two of you well. So thank you ever so much. And Robert just to let you know, Robert's on a day off today, but Robert's had to pop into work today. So he's not going to be joining us, but he did let me know last night that all of the music was sorted out. So I've got no idea what he's actually chosen, and we never know what Robert's chosen. But yesterday's was a favourite of Marion's husband, Richard's. So Richard was very happily singing along to the music that we had yesterday, and there's a little post about it as well in the Gogglefrogs group. So yes, hopefully you will like today's music as well. So without further ado, we're going to go into this morning's interlude. And I know we have interlude, and we also have interlude wool, don't we? So we called one of our wools interlude, which I always think is quite funny. So here we go. I will cue the music and enjoy this morning. I remember that one, and I had to frantically look online. And yes, because I thought, I'm sure that there was more to that song. So it was Eurovision Song Contest 1976. So I was 6. Yeah, 6.5. And it was by Brotherhood of Man in The Hague. And it does say it was the winner. So we were winners that year. So Save Your Kisses for Me, I remember. And I remember doing the dance. And I'm sat down, so I couldn't do the full dance, but my feet were tapping and doing the moves. So yeah. Oh, released on 5th of March, 1976. So I don't know anything else about them. I do remember that. Did they just have that one song, or did they have more? I don't know. It doesn't really tell me that much, but at least we know that they were Eurovision winners. Overall, it remains one of the biggest selling Eurovision winners ever, and the biggest such seller in the UK. So absolutely brilliant. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. And it's one of those songs that every so often it just comes into your head. And yeah, so I'll be sat there waiting at a checkout somewhere, and suddenly Kisses for Me comes into my head, and just think, where's that sprung from? I don't know, but I love their costumes. I love the fact that they had a little bit of a dance, and at the age of 6, I think it was one of those things that when Top of the Pops came on, I could actually do that dance and do those moves. So I'm sure that we all did the moves to Brotherhood of Man. So yeah, those little dances that they did, that, let's face it, the grandparents couldn't quite keep up, could they? But we were probably all dancing away to it. So Safi says, good morning, my dears, and good morning to you. Tricia says, morning all, getting on with my scarf for the Care Leavers project. Oh wow, that's brilliant. Well done. If you don't know about the Care Leavers project, caregivers, I think it is, I believe there's something in the Facebook group about that, and it's little gifts to give to youngsters who are caregivers in, I think it's in the Leeds area, or is it in the Yorkshire area? So let me know. But great worthy cause. Marion has reminded us that it's 144. She's being Brigitte today because it's 145 tomorrow. So tomorrow evening, when we can all be together, which is brilliant. Judy says morning all. Georgie says morning and kisses. Kisses back to you. Jackie says morning all. Yes, still working. Marion says Safia is also a bad influence. Ringtons. Yes, because I think one show I mentioned a company from up north called Ringtons, where they still go around in a little van. It's a branded van that says Ringtons, and you just wave them down in the street and they'll stop, and you go to the back of the van and you buy tea, coffee, biscuits, all sorts in there. And we mentioned it one day. So Marion had to order some to try some. We did say that the caramel wafers, like tonics, but caramel wafers are to die for, and the Brazil nut biscuits. And then Safi started talking about the lemon biscuits. So Marion now has, she calls it her craft room, but it's 3/4 craft room, and 1/4 of all the surfaces are Ringtons. She tells me they're all for Christmas presents, but let's see. But she's addicted to Ringtons now, which is really good. So Safi's a bad influence because Safi has been talking about ringtones and how good they are as well. So well done. I'm glad that you're a bad influence as well, Safi. Louise said, good morning. Got you on in the background while I work. Good morning, Louise. And lovely that we still have people there able to work and listen to us in the background. That's fantastic. Trisha says, hang on a minute, I can't say that. Ringtones indeed, exclamation marks. So yeah, if you're not aware of ringtones, just pop onto the website. They do lots of Christmas gifts at the moment, and I will promote them because I remember ringtones from when I was young. We used to have our tea bags delivered, we had our pop delivered, we had our milk delivered, and I'm really pleased to see that the village that my parents is where my parents have lived just about all of their married life, etc. We still have a little shop that will do deliveries. There's still the milk ground here, and you can still get ringtones as well. So that's good. Denise says good morning. Good morning to you, Denise. Safi says, Marion, haha, good choice, Richard. I was singing this the other day. Georgie says that was so lovely. And Janice says just right for a wet Tuesday in London. Anne says good morning. And Trisha says care leavers project, not caregivers. I know it's that whole thing about predictive text, isn't it? Marion says they are for Christmas. I know they are, but I love to make I love to have a little jokette. So yeah, they do lots and lots and lots of packs of things, so you can get like these boxes of biscuits and tea bags and stuff. And Marion does say that they're what are they, the decaf are really, really good as well. So thank you so much. Jackie says ringtones dangerous. So Jackie is now are you getting into the ringtones club as well? So that's funny. Trisha says here is the Facebook link for the project. Thank you. So it's I'll copy that into our Facebook group just so we can show it again. Let me copy the link address and I'll just stick that in there. Let's have a quick look. There we go. Right, I've put that into the Facebook group, so we'll be able to see that later. Thank you so much, Trisha. Right, and Marion says she's put the ringtones link on Facebook. Thank you. I just think that you know, there was a time when we had all of those lovely companies like Cadbury's, like Roundtrees, like ringtones, and they used to shut down. They used to have a works day at the seaside, and they're one of those traditional, old-fashioned, lovely old-fashioned, may I add, companies. So yes, we used to have lots and lots of them in the north. They're dwindling, but just the fact that they still go around with their vans. And if ever I win the lottery, I think I'm going to buy a little ringtone franchise and a little van and just drive around in my van, and it'll be mainly ringtones, but then on top I'll probably have a bit that says yarn, ringtones and yarn. So that would be lovely. Yeah, so perfect. So what are you working on? Do let us know. I have been working on this, but I have to say I've seen a post from Fran today about her mitered squares, and a little way that she is doing the mitered squares in the middle. So I'm really thinking that I might have to do something as mitered squares, because it looks as if that could be something quite interesting, and I'm sure once you've got the hang of it, it's quite easy. Or have I got the wrong end of that? Sorry, I've just seen, I'll come back to that comment in a minute. So let me know if they are actually quite easy to do when you get the hang of it. I like things that I can do without thinking about it on an evening, or sometimes I'll go up to bed and do a little bit of knitting. but I don't want anything complicated or anything where I have to look at a pattern. So let me know, because I would love to know. And I've just had a look at Rington's, a comment from Marion. And the reason why we read out the chat is because on replay it doesn't capture the chat comments, and you're not going to be able to see them on YouTube either. So hello to everybody on YouTube, and hello to everyone watching us on replay as well. So Marion says that she spoke to Ringtons the other day and asked if by any chance they had noticed a spike in orders from down south. The lady said they were gradually increasing. If we keep talking about it, and if we keep, well, let's face it, no one can come out round to our houses for a cup of tea, really, can they? But when they can, you know, they will notice just how lovely they are. Marion also says, Mitered Squares, a great go-to. Thank you very much. Safi says, did I ever finish off my secret project, Angela? No, I still haven't. And I was thinking about that the other day. I need to get it finished for Christmas, don't I, for Robert? I really need to do something like that. So it's so hard, because with that secret project, I've got about 20 balls of wool. So it's quite hard to transport around. And I'm sure when I get back to it, I'll have forgotten how I tweaked the pattern. But yeah, it's something I desperately need to finish off. So I've still got my narrow blanket that's a third crocheted together. And I refuse to default to sewing it together. I want it crocheted together for some strange reason, because it will look more unusual. But yeah, that's a lot of my projects do take forever to actually finish off. So no, when I do finish that, you will be the first people to know, because a certain person will have to open it live. I think. So we'll see. Louise says, what a lovely retirement idea. Yeah, it's got to have yarn, and it's got to have tea and cake and biscuits and stuff like that. That's just what life is to me. And the odd good book, and a laptop, and doing a bit of internet stuff. So I just love doing lots and lots of different things. And Anne says, good to hear that Ringtons is getting fame further south. I know. But you know what? When I first moved down south, it was weird. My friend used to get me boxes of Ringtons tea from Morrison's, because when I first moved down south, Morrison's was not in the south at all. So he used to get me boxes of Ringtons tea bags. Then also Longley Farm yogurts and cream could not be bought in the south, and my life would not be complete without Longley Farm yogurts and things. So then we got Morrison's down south, and then it changed again, that they did actually start selling some of the northern products down south. So yeah, it's really weird. And I know that like people from Ireland always wanted red lemonade and Tato crisps, and you can get them here now. But I do know that first of all, moving to the south, there were certain things that I just couldn't get. And you used to get packed up and bring your Ringtons tea down and yogurts down and bits and bobs. So it was yeah. And Safi says, love the idea of the Ringtons and yarn van, the perfect combination. I promise I'm not laughing, Angela. Honestly, anyone would laugh unless they knew about Gogglefrogs, and then they'd realise that Ringtons and yarn do go together. Oh dear. And Trisha says, oh wow. Trisha goes past the Longley factory when she goes over to Holmfirth and Slowett. It's a lovely location. I've never actually seen that place, but the little farm shop that me and my mum go to quite often, sometimes when I pull up at the farm shop, the Longley Farm truck is there delivering things, and it's just fabulous. And again, their yogurts just have milk and fruit in. That's it. Nothing else. They go off, you know, if you don't eat them in time. they're quite tart because there's not sugar in them, and that it's not synthetic stuff. So, you know, I had a blackberry one, no, blackcurrant one this morning, and it was really quite tart. And I put some linseeds in. What else did I put in? And this other stuff with, oh, I don't, flax seeds, goji berries and stuff. And it's really nice, but it's lovely eating something that doesn't taste like a sweetened sweet. And that's my problem with most yogurt. And I like yogurt as it used to be. In the 70s, when it first arrived in the UK, before we got ski yogurts, everything was really tart, wasn't it? So I love them when they're really quite sharp. So when I go abroad, I really like eating their yogurts, as long as they're not sweetened ones. I don't know if you're the same, but that's what I'm like. Sorry. So we'll have a look at Gogglefrogs in a minute. Oh, just let's see who else has arrived. I'll try and see who else has arrived. I'm really sorry. Anne, did I say hello, Anne? I'm sorry. Hello, Denise, as well. Let me see, but it's quite hard trying to keep up. There we go. Right. Gonna have a little look in Gogglefrogs. So let me refresh the page. If there's anything else you want to pop in there, just do. Let me just check. Actually, let me finish this row, and you finish your row as well. So yeah, I have to say, I always love knitting with this. I really do, because I like the colour changes. You don't have to think about colour changes. And I know that some of you, no names mentioned, are getting very, very good at how to blend colours, which is brilliant. But I do enjoy things that are really simple and ready done. Yeah, I just love knitting with this one. It's probably I don't knit with everything that's Stylecraft, but I know a lot of people do, but I really do like this one. It's so different. And I was thinking actually that I think this would look lovely in a lot of adults jumpers, etc. I think the one thing that, if you're like me, you do like the front and the back similar, so you don't have different color blocks. But I do absolutely love this wool. I do think the colors blend beautifully, and I might even try doing something, a little cardigan for me or something at some point, but I'm not going to do it in reverse stocking stitch. That was just too much for me. So I am frogging the whole my niece's cardigan, because I really didn't like it, and I couldn't be bothered to sew it all together. I just didn't like it, so I'll start it again. And I know Trisha, you did it as well, didn't you? And you did it in a reverse stocking stitch. Sorry, you didn't do the reverse stocking stitch, and I think I prefer it that way. Oh, let's have a look. Rebecca says, morning all, had a flu jab yesterday, so feeling a bit rough today. Almost didn't make it. I'm so sorry you're not feeling well, and I hope that goes off soon, Rebecca. Yeah, I really hope that is going to get better soon. I don't know how long it takes. I know my mum, when she had hers, her arm was sore. She kept saying, my arm's really sore. Yeah, you've had your flu jab. Oh, yes. So Marion says, I remember ski yogurts in the cardboard container available in a local coffee shop, not the supermarket. We all thought we were so grown up with it. Age 15, so much more innocent then. I know, it's so weird, isn't it, that yogurts were this bizarre thing that suddenly arrived. Yeah, I remember when I was 8, I went to spend a few weeks in the summer with friends over in Italy. When I came home, in my case were 2 big things of like bread that was so hard that I just love bread like that. And I suddenly announced to my mum, and I'm not eating any of this English rubbish food anymore. I want all Italian. And my mum just thought, how? So I think after she said, okay, well, you know, how do we make it then? Come on, let's make it. I did quite a good job, actually. It was only about 8. It's just like, well, here's a recipe book. This is what we need to do. Let's follow the recipe. And we did actually manage to make a lasagna, even though my mum had never even heard of Italian food. So we did quite well. But yeah, that was me at the age of 8. So announcing that we're not eating this English food anymore. I think since then, wherever I go, I love eating what the locals eat. And oh, I don't know if anybody else has it's like what is it, granola and stuff like that. What, Alpen. And we were watching, as we often do, all these foodie programs, and Hugh Fernley-Whittingstall said over in wherever it comes from, they don't actually put milk with their muesli. What they do is they put it with some orange juice overnight and grated apples, etc. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to start making that Bircher style stuff overnight. You do put a bit of milk in it if you want, but I'm going to start doing that because it's so lovely, really, really lovely. And again, it's quite sharp, and I don't like sweet. I love cakes, you know, I love cakes, but when it comes to breakfast stuff, I love all stuff that is really quite sharp. So that's me. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, Trisha says about the cardigan. Yeah, just reverse the shaping. I think I'm going to do that. And her granddaughter loves it. I love the shape of it, but you know when you just don't like how it looks. So I don't know. I think reverse stocking stitch. This is my feelings, and they're only my personal feelings. I think they're great on things which are done on quite small needles, so it becomes almost like a boucle jacket. But when you work on larger needles, I just find I don't like that look. It has to be so tight for me to like it, and that's why I'm not a great lover of reverse stocking stitch. So if you're using more than 3.5 mil or even 3.25 mil, for me, I just can't do it. So sorry about that. So I will try it as you did, Trisha, and then I'm sure I will love it too. Rebecca says it'll be fine, much better than getting the flu. Safi says, heck, Angela, your niece will love it as it is. Sew it up and give it to her. Do you know what? It's just one of those things. So I'm going to redo it. I know what it's like. I know what we're all like. So I just want to change it. And Trisha says you could probably sew up inside out and it would be fine. It's actually, do you know what? Normally it would be, but it's there is a cable paneling up the front. So the cable paneling, when you look at when you reverse it, doesn't quite look good. But never mind. I will get there in the end. So I'm gonna go to our Facebook group. I don't know if there's much in there today, so let's have a quick look at and see what we've got. Screen. Right, here we go. So let's have a quick look. Oh, this is what we put in, hand knits for care. Oh, it does say care leavers, but they're caregivers. So that's the Facebook group for them. And it's knitting them things for Christmas. I'm sure that's the case. Let me just have a quick look. I always hate doing this. Hand knits. Welcome to the Hand Knits for Care Leavers. Hand Knits for Care Leavers is a project where knitters gift hand knitted scarves and hats to young care leavers. Oh, sorry, care leavers of fostering care homes. I'm so sorry. I got it so wrong. Attending a Christmas dinner in Bradford and Leeds. The Christmas dinners is an annual project founded by the poet Lem Sissy, MBE, for communities across the UK to provide a Christmas dinner for care leavers aged 18 to 25, one they'll never forget. You can see that if you're a knitter or would like to start, love your hand knit hats and scarves. Oh wow. So even if the dinners do not go ahead as normal this year due to the current pandemic, gifts and foods will still be distributed to young care leavers. So sorry, it is care leavers. We ask that you use an Aran worsted weight machine washable yarn in solid colours, and that you knit both the hat and the scarf so we have matching sets. Once you finish your set, if you can please attach a gift tag with your Christmas message to the recipient and care instructions for the knitted items. Please get in touch with tcbbradfordknits@gmail.com for the address to send your gifts to. Just on that, what a amazing charity that is. I thought it was people giving care. I didn't realize it was leaving care. So yes, as soon as their age comes, and for some it may be even as early as 16, they then suddenly have to leave the care system and they're on their own, and they struggle to get support between 16 and 18. From 18 onwards they are deemed an adult, and if you can just imagine, some of those people have had very settled homes. They've gone from foster care to foster care to foster care. So I think that would be really nice. And I am going to just say I was thankfully gifted a hat and scarf set from the lovely Helen to go to the care home for either my dad or my friend's niece's care home. She runs a care home. But I think what I'm going to do is donate it that way, if that's all right, to the care leavers, because they don't have much at all. They leave the care system with not very much at all. So thank you ever so much. And I'm glad that I took the time to actually find out a little bit more about that project. So now back on to our normal Gogglefrog stuff. Denise has put this Pudsey in progress. So look at that. I'm loving it. Beautiful colours. I can't wait to see how Pudsey takes shape. So how are you finding it? But that looks absolutely lovely. Thank you so much. So that's the knitted one. There's the crocheted one as well. There's the little kits. We've got some left. Just look at the website gogglefrogs.co.uk and you'll be able to see which kits are left. But we will be putting a donation to children in need. And remember that if you do buy the kits, the donation's already been made. King Cole made the donation and then we buy it off them again. So all of that donation's already gone, and we as Gogglefrogs will be doing a donation as well. So we just thought it was nice to try and put some kits together, because often we don't know what's in the pattern books from a lot of these manufacturers. So we just thought it was nice, and should be everything in there to make a pudsey. So let us know. Brigitte, we have said, shan't be able to say morning peeps 145 at 10 o'clock tomorrow, as Rod has his COVID-19 test. Oh, so is it 145 today? It may be 145 today. Thank you very much. So to Richard, just best of luck, and I hope you don't test positive. You shouldn't, because you haven't seen anybody. So you've both been so careful at shielding. So perfect. And then Marion says Aldi have yarn available online and in stores from the 1st of November. Marion has got enough and she's not buying anymore. So that's funny. This we showed yesterday. Thank you, Brigitte. I'll show it again. Regia yarn for these beautiful socks. It's still too hot in this house, but I put them on for 5 minutes in the morning. Look, I've got them here again, one of them there again. So I put them on briefly every morning. They're beautiful. Thank you so much. Only my second ever pair of hand knit socks in the world. Marion has put this down. Thought you might be interested in this bio on Albert Hammond, and this is whose music we had on yesterday, who's better known as a songwriter. So thank you ever so much. And of course it's appropriate. We would never delete that, Marion, because we played that music for Richard's birthday yesterday. So thank you ever so much. And we'll find out a little bit more about him. So we were, what we also found was some of our fellow Gogglefroggers went to see him and have seen him live in the flesh. We've seen that one again, but it is beautiful, and that's been adapted. So thank you so much. It's Throwback Tuesday today, isn't it? So I don't think we've got any posts for today. Now, Georgie has posted this, and I'm just going to click on this so that you can see it. Perfect birthday present because it looks like candles. So love that intricate pattern. I love the cabling to make the candles, and it's free until the end of the month. So just use that certain code that you'll see, and it's called 30 Candles by Sarah Bishop. So you could have that as a snood. I don't know how you redesign that into a hat. I'm not even going to try, but you could put that into the front of cardigans. You could put that into a blanket. You could put it onto a bag. You could have them in the scarf. That was me. How would I do the scarf? Yeah, I'd have them at one end and then try and replicate it again at the other end, so that you had, rather than all the way along, which would end up with a really, really long circular, I'd try and do some at one side and then some at the other side. So absolutely beautiful, and I think that will show off any lovely pearlescent yarn that you have just like that there. And I think you're going to be, even if you used a very dark one like a navy or a black, as long as it's got that sheen to it, you're going to be able to see that beautiful detail. So I love that. And again, it's another Diana knits. So thank you, Georgie. I know you love them. Now this is the one. I'm going to show you this. So Fran has done these mitered squares, which are amazing. I absolutely love it. And she said, you know, it's all in the wool. And as you can see, beautiful. Now, somebody did comment on this, and the reason why I wanted to go through this is Claire has asked, Fran, can I ask how you're working the decrease on the middle rows? I'm following the wool zone method as shown in recent Yarndale how-to video, where it's slip one pearl, knit two together, pass slip stitch over, but it doesn't produce the neat diagonal line that you've got there. Now, Fran has replied and said, knit to the center 3 stitches, slip 2 together knitwise, as if to knit 2 together, but don't knit them, just slip them onto the right hand needle, knit the next stitch, and then slip those 2 slip stitches over on the next row. So again, learning. And I just thought, I've heard people say about that mitered square, but that is so precise and so clean. I really, really, really love that mitered square line. So I hope you do too. I just wanted to share that. And then that was Mashup Monday. So what is it today? Throwback Tuesday, isn't it? We've shown that as well. I think we've shown all of these yesterday, which were all beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I think, oh, I put the post on twice. So I think that's it for today. So let me go back. Thank you ever so much. And we'll go through the chat and see what's happened in the chat. Safi says, so it's just the fronts that you will be redoing. Not too bad. Do you know what? I've just realised, Safi, thank you for that. Yeah, I don't have to do the whole lot because the arms and the back I can do together. So it's just the 2 fronts. So actually I don't have to frog the whole lot. Thank you so much. You know, when you just think, no, I'll have to redo that, but it's only 2 fronts I need to do. So absolutely brilliant. Oh, Robert. Did I just see something from Robert? Hi everyone, sorry I'm missing you today. Something came up for work. See you tomorrow night. I know, Robert, don't worry, I explained this morning. and said you'd had to pop into work. So don't worry about that. And you will, of course, see your lovely Robert tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. So that'll be lovely. Safi says, we have so many kids in independent accommodation from 16. Honestly, it is terrible for some of them. Safi, I absolutely agree. I won't really go into it, but how we the lack of support for some of these young adults at 16 trying to make life on their own after they've had a very challenging start to life, I think is heartbreaking. So anything that we can do to help them, I think will be lovely. And yeah, there are so many pockets of society that would just love some gifts from us. So I think that's something that a hat and a scarf, yes, it will be absolutely wonderful. One of them, do you know what, I do have enough Louisa Harding left, but there's no way I'd get that done for this year. Actually, no, they've asked for it in thick stuff, haven't they? Not in the fancy stuff. So a hat and a scarf is what we can do. So I agree, Safi. And interestingly, I remember one of my friends from school. She was originally from London. Lovely family. We were very, very good friends with the whole family. And she had a friend who had been in care at school, and she's still in touch with her now. But she said when there was this house. And the woman was just fantastic, and she said in the bedrooms there wasn't even room in the bedrooms because there were just beds. And whenever anyone said, like, we've got somebody else who needs help, she said, that's fine, I can always fit in another one. I think at times there were probably 20 odd children at this lady's house, and she just gave them lots of love, lots of support, became a role model, and people were still in touch with her for years and years and years after. So all of these children, from youngsters upwards, who had some lovely, loving continuity. So if there's anything that we can do, if that's the odd little bit that we can do, then that would be brilliant. So I absolutely agree. Marion says the children that leave foster care are extremely vulnerable to lots of not very nice people out there. I know, because who do they go to? So it's really important that we try and connect with people and help them if we can in any little way. So it might not even be the hat and the scarf, it may be the little message that you put on that tag, or putting a little card in, just saying how worthwhile that individual is, and that they have a whole life in front of them, and that they can have anything. So when they're there on their own, they can open that little card or that tag and think, do you know what, somebody I don't even know believes in me. So there's little things that we can do like that. So yeah, if you have any hats and scarves, please send them to that little that lovely worthwhile charity in Leeds and Bradford. Trisha says, wasn't candles it reminded me of. Oh, what was it? Marion says, Trisha, really? I think we both thought the same thing. I don't know. I've said it wrong. Trisha's laughing. Jackie's got to go. See you tomorrow evening. Yes, we will see you tomorrow. I don't know what I've missed in the candle bit, but never mind. I'm sure somebody will advise me. Don't let me know in the chat, because I might just collapse into laughter. And Rebecca says, at 16 they're still children, they can't even leave school. It's dreadful. I know. So I'm sure there's something that we can do. We do so much, don't we, as crafters, as knitters, as crocheters, creating things, squares, blankets, sending them all over the world. So I'm sure that they will appreciate every single gift that you send to them, and that will be somebody who smiles and who has a gift. And my God, a Christmas dinner, really? Everybody should have a Christmas dinner, shouldn't they? Some of us may choose, as I may be doing this year, to have a lasagna for Christmas dinner. That is my choice, but everybody should have that companionship, that support, and a time where they can just be and just enjoy. So let's just hope that something can still go ahead, and if not, they are going to still give out meals. But I know there's a mission in London that we go and help. Sometimes we make breakfast and sometimes we sort out the clothing and things, and you know, they serve over 300, it's probably over 400 breakfasts every day now to people who are homeless in London, which is quite scary. And that's another thing, if ever you have clothes that you're getting rid of, like I would say more teenagers, because most people are homeless are quite slim, so you know, like teenagers, jeans, tops, jackets, things like that. If you've got towels, because they can go in and get showers in there at the mission, and other things, you know, I know we don't go there now, but if you ever stay in a hotel and you know the little shampoo and the little things there, the toothbrushy things, please take them, put them in a bag and give them to me. And what we do is we give them to this mission, this charity. So as people come in on a morning, they can go and have a shower, they can have a lovely, you know, use a lovely, some lovely products, clean their teeth, have a shave, all things like that. So anything that you can think of. If you're getting rid of it, please, if it's things like teenagers, you know, for 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, trousers, etc., please, if you could donate them, and I will make sure they go to the mission, because that's another one that helps a lot of vulnerable adults, young adults that often see themselves homeless in London, and they can go there and they can eat. So lots and lots of ways that we can help people, especially at this time of year, because it's starting to get cold, isn't it? So yeah, so I think we've had a bit of a morning this morning about charity and how we can help people. So Marion says, I think a lot of hotels have got wise to that and now pick soap, etc. in containers on the wall. Yeah, do you know what? There's still quite a lot. Whenever I go to our, I know I'm not going there this year, to our little one in Bruges, I normally I use some of them and I bring some of them home. So I think, yeah, some of them, the big chains do have the stuff on the wall, but there's still a lot with the small ones, not so much the toothbrushes. So normally I go and I buy a pack of, you know, even the pound shops. It's just really nice that somebody can start the day off with dignity. A lot of these people were actually working as well, so they'd have a job, they'd lost their homes for whatever reason, never admitted it to work, and they were still trying to keep going. So I know we used to get there about 5 in the morning. I think it's about 5, so we used to set off at silly o'clock, but that's fine for us because we've got an alarm clock and we've got a home and we've got vehicles. So we used to go down there and start making the breakfast, and then people used to come in and the queues, just think, wow. Absolutely incredible what some people do. The other thing as well, they accept no money off a state, because then if they did, they would have to adhere to certain rules, which would mean with the number of staff, they couldn't be open 7 mornings a week. So they commit every single day, no matter what's happening, that they will feed anyone who arrives. Yeah, so it's lovely. So they feed them and give them dignity as well, and try and help them to get homes, etc. So it's amazing what we can do with our knitting, isn't it? All these different charities that we can just help. So I think I'll be doing a little scarf. Actually, I wonder if I could do, I know this isn't a scarf as such, but I could probably do something like this and put a hat with it if it's the same. That might be a little bit complicated, but a hat and a scarf would be lovely. And thank you for sharing that, Tricia, and for educating me as to what beautiful things we have around. I'm just going to double check there's nothing else gone into Gogglefrogs. Let's have a look. No, we're still on. So we've had lots of chat about Rington today. And we know who in the south has got so much Rington stuff, don't we? So lots and lots and lots of Rington stuff, lots of stuff about charities as well. And it's a nice time of year, isn't it, to help with the charities. And let us know tomorrow, Wednesday, is it Work in Progress Wednesday? So let us know what you're working on. And then we'll have Show It Off Saturday. So hopefully we'll have a few things finished by the weekend, and then we'll be able to show some lovely stuff. And I hope that you have a lovely few days, because I always find that when I don't have goggles, I can sort of start knitting and doing a little bit. So hopefully I might finish something. But the secret project, you're right, Safi, I do have to get back on with that. So Trisha's got to go and start a Zoom meeting. See us, and we'll see us tomorrow. So thank you very much, and best of luck with that. Marion says she's hoping to finish Pudsey by tomorrow. Yes, you had said by Wednesday, so can't wait to see that, Marion. And you could make a Pudsey in any colour, couldn't you? And I'm sure you've all got lots and lots and lots of colours in your stash as well, so you'd be able to go there. But that was lovely being able to do. Rebecca says if you follow the links in the post, it takes you to a pattern that they use for both the hat and the scarf, barley and wheat. Thank you so much for that, Rebecca. I'll have a look at that. And Marion has said he'll be wonky, lol. He won't be wonky. He will be lovely. There is nobody created who isn't like, if you look at yourself in a mirror, that side of your face is different to that side of your face. So that is totally normal to be, as you call it, wonky. Let me just check that I've done this right. And I don't have to frog it. Yeah, I have done it right. And I don't know what that barley and wheat pattern is, but I'm sure we can all have a look. As for Pudsey, I think it's strange. It was always strange to me that Pudsey is the next, well, it's a town, but the next village along from where my parents, where I grew up, etc. And I always think it's strange that there's this bear that's so famous that's called Pudsey, that's what, a mile from me, mile and a half from me, that whenever I go up here, I go to, you know, the Weatherby Whaler in Pudsey. That's where we have our fish and chips. We go to the farm shop in Pudsey. So it is really weird that Pudsey Bear came from so close to where I was. So I love that. Yeah. So yeah, named after Pudsey, and it's just one of those things that stuck. So great that we're going to have a few Pudsey Bears. We've sold a few of the patterns for the cardigans, the jumpers, so that's going to be brilliant. So yeah, just can't wait to see what it was. And Rebecca says, was he Safi? I didn't know that. Yeah, it was Pudsey Bear after Pudsey. So there's a Pudsey station, there's Pudsey Old Cuts that's got one of the big flagship Marks and Spencers and a huge Asda's there. So Pudsey was made famous, and no one knew about Pudsey ever. So yeah, so that is Pudsey. So get knitting and get finishing all of those beautiful items that you've been doing. Safi says, I can't remember why though. Neither can I. Maybe I'll have to find it for the next time. Pudsey Bear. Let's have a look. And because I was from here, it was like, oh, that's strange. Pudsey Bear since 1980. Actually, this is quite nice. Oh, I can't even read those numbers. This from 1980 to 2019. I'm sorry, I don't even read those numbers out because I don't know how many millions have been done. Pudsey Bear. Let's have a look. created and named in 1985 by graphic designer Joanna Lane, who worked for the BBC's design department. She says, it was a light bulb moment for me. We were bouncing ideas off each other and I latched onto this idea of a teddy bear. I immediately realised there was a huge potential for the mascot beyond the 2D logo. The bear was named after her hometown of Pudsey, West Yorkshire. So that's how it happened, where her grandfather was mayor. So Joanna Lane, who was from Pudsey in West Yorkshire, and that's why it was called Pudsey Bear. A reproduction of the bear mascot made of vegetation is in Pudsey Park. I'll have to have a look there, near the town centre. Originally introduced for her 1985 appeal, Pudsey was created as a triangular shaped logo, because that was the first one. Oh, can we see? Sorry. You can see what I mean, can't you? That was the logo. So that's that. That's why she was originally from Pudsey, and that's why Pudsey Bear got its name, for children in need. So, oh, hello, Brigitte. Hope everything went okay. Lovely to see you. Rebecca says the designer felt it was important to give the new mascot a name and look back at her own roots and name Pudsey because she was from Pudsey and her grandparents. So absolutely lovely. So yeah, Pudsey Bear, children in need. Hello, Brigitte. Hello, Ron. Hopefully you've had a lovely morning, and this is now just about 11 o'clock. So I would like to say, oh dear, Brigitte says, what an experience can do without COVID-19 test, I guess. Not nice experience. Hopefully you're home, have a cup of tea, relax, chill, and wait for the results. And I'm sure that they will be fine and you'll be able to go ahead and have everything done on Friday. So if there's anything that you need, please let us know. We're here for you. And Gogglefroggers, that is it. We're on the 11 o'clock witching hour. So that just leaves me to say thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you've had a good morning, and I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. And don't forget to bring your drink, and we will have some giggles over goggles. You take care. Bye.